Wait, am I looking at?
Not yet. In a second. Okay, so this is a third grade science class, Earth Science, and we're going to be talking about 4 phases of the moon that we're going to focus on. But our first activity, can everybody see the ball in the middle from a good angle? Okay, so ignore the little pink parts, that's my Play-Doh, but you get the idea, half is black and half is white. So can anyone tell me where they think the sun might be shining on our little fake moon?
Over here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so on your little sheets, draw what you see. Draw the light part that you see from your perspective.
From the perspective that we're sitting
Mhm.
at? Okay.
You're welcome. When you're done. So, is everybody about done? Okay, so think of yourselves as all your own little Earth, and you're seeing the moon from a different angle to where the sun is shining on it. So you're seeing the different ways that the moon is lit up by the sun. And we know that the moon doesn't make any light itself, so it's just reflecting light. And we're going to look at this to help us understand it a little more. So, can anyone tell me where the moon is, or where the sun is shining on our picture? From which side, the left or the right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so we see that the moon is lit up the same way that the Earth is lit up. The sun is shining on it the same. But as it moves around, the Earth sees it from different perspectives, just like you all did with our little moon. Okay. So now we're going to bring all your moons over to the 4 phases that we're focusing on today. And compare your drawing to the 4 different phases and find if it matches one of them or if it goes in between. And just line them all up. But the light green part is supposed to be where the light is shining, just to clarify. It's a little confusing.
So that's
Like there's a small one.
Yeah.
I only had limited crayon choices.
You okay?
the light green
Is the moon?
Is anyone confused?
It's where you colored in with your chalk.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't Cappy's do like this?
It would. Was it mostly dark? Okay, mostly light. I can't put it right there. I wish this was a real board so we could actually probably use that. But that's okay. So I'll just leave them down. So we've made our own little moon phase. And let's see if any of these match up perfectly. Well, let's look at the 4 moon phases first. The first one is the full moon, and it's completely lit up. The second one, 3/4 moon, that makes sense because 3/4 of it are lit up. The third one, half moon, half of it's lit up, makes sense in the name. And crescent moon, I'm sure we've all heard of crescent, right? The little sliver of moon. And that's our 4th step. Okay, so does that make sense to everybody? Is everybody still? So does anyone see their picture and think it matches one of these 4 phases pretty well? Okay, what did you think you had?
The 3/4 moon. Mine's right there.
Mm-hmm. What about you?
Mine is a half moon, the one on the right.
Yep. And everybody else is somewhere in between?
If there's only 4 phases, how can there be stuff in between?
There are more than 4 phases. I think there are 8 phases, but for 3rd grade, we're just going to focus on these 4, just start it out, maybe add some more later. But okay, so let's go back to our seats and review what we know about the moon. So, does anyone remember how many days it takes for the moon to go completely around the Earth? 28 days, yep. And can anyone tell me the difference between rotation and revolution? Oh, wait. Rotation. Yeah, revolution.
Isn't like
Revolution is like when it goes around the Earth, right?
Mm-hmm. And rotation, what rotates? What do we know about the Earth? Yep, if we look at our picture again, we see the Earth rotating on its axis, and we see the moon. The same face of the moon always faces the Earth. So it's revolving around the Earth.
Does the moon not rotate?
The moon does not rotate. We always see the same face, we just see different shadows of the moon. See the moon, how it's staying still. That would be what we're seeing of the moon. That's why we always see the same craters. Okay. So now, we're going to pass around these sheets. And since we don't have tons of scissors, just color in the 4 different phases, just to remind yourself what we've learned.
You do it, Karen.
The directions on the worksheet made sense to everybody?
Is the dark always on the same side?
Actually not always, but for right now it doesn't matter because the 8 phases of the moon are kind of different than these 4 simplified phases we're doing. The 4 are just about kind of how much of the moon you see, but it actually kind of doesn't matter because you'll see the shadow on either side of the moon at different parts of the month. Okay, if you guys are about finished, find a partner and compare what you guys drew.
Except I think
Yeah, I did
yours
that.
represented dark and then my purple represented light.
Yeah.
So we just flipped it.
Yeah. Got it right.
Yeah.
Okay, so how's everybody doing? Is everybody on the same page? All right, good. So for homework, you're going to draw and label your own 4 moon phases however you want to and bring them in tomorrow.